Hi everybody, it's Dolph from the Blue Show, and I am here with my Raw Super Show review for the week of January 16th, 2012. We got a surprise opening from Mick Foley. Yes, Mick Foley is back. You know, ever since we haven't seen him since the whole Christmas thing he did back in November. Yeah, you heard me right, November. But he was back, and he was going on about how his two youngest kids never got to see him in the ring, and you know, he wanted to fulfill that fantasy for them by entering the Royal Rumble. Dolph Ziggler and Vickie Guerrero come out, cut a heel promo saying that Mick Foley shouldn't be in the Rumble. CM Punk comes out and starts bashing Ziggler and Vickie Guerrero. And then John Laurnitis comes out and pretty much says, "No, Mick Foley, you do not have my permission to be in the Royal Rumble this year." Now, based on what happened at the live event with Epico and Primo winning the tag team titles, they defended them again. Airboom invoked their rematch clause and pretty much lost. And I pretty much got the idea why, considering the fact that Evan Bourne has been suspended for 60 days. Then we'll go to Zack Ryder in the back, and he's all taped up, you know, from Kane's choke slam from last week on the outside. And apparently he wasn't cleared, but then he said he wasn't going to forfeit his title. So we go there, and then we go to a segment with John Laurnitis and David Otunga, and he said the guy is out there waiting for him. The guy comes in and he's changing the main event. The main event was originally scheduled to be Mark Henry, Dolph Ziggler taking on CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. It's now been changed to a six-man tag. It's going to be Mark Henry, David Otunga, Dolph Ziggler versus CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Chris Jericho. And as you guys heard in my Chris Jericho report, the only thing that Jericho did in response to John Laurinaitis' statement was turn off the lights and light up his jacket. That's the only thing he did. So, next up is the United States title match, which really didn't last too long. You know, Jack Swagger and Zack Ryder. And, of course, Jack Swagger, you know, taking advantage of Zack Ryder being injured. Pretty much hit 3 gut-wrench power bombs. Michael Cole, they're gut-wrench power bombs. Not suplexes, you freaking moron. They're power bombs. Learn the difference. You've been commentating long enough to know the difference between a power bomb and a suplex. For you to call it a suplex is another epic fail in coal mining history. Learn the moves, Michael Cole. Learn the moves. Anyway, so Jack Swagger is now the United States champion. Then they go to the back, and apparently John Laurinaitis is sorry, you know, saying that, I just opened up this report now, the doctors did not medically clear you. Now, think back to the previous statement, you know, if Mark Henry wasn't medically cleared when Daniel Bryan first cashed in the Money in the Bank, and, you know, and they gave the title back to Mark Henry, you know, why can't they do the same thing with Zack Ryder? You know, if Zack Ryder wasn't medically cleared, then technically the match shouldn't have happened, and therefore it didn't happen, and Jack Swagger should not be the United States champion. The title should remain with Zack Ryder. Just based on what they did with Mark Henry. Anyway, we have Perez Hilton. Why? That's all I can say. Maybe a popular blogger on the internet, but God, it was awful. Horrible intros, horrible finish. Kelly and Alicia Fox and the Bellas. Kelly and Alicia Fox get the win. Then apparently Perez Hilton wants to pick a fight with the Bellas. The Bellas push him, and the dude gives about the worst bump I have ever seen in my life. You know, he throws himself down, then he pops right back up. It's just, oh. Then we had a confrontation with R-Truth and Wade Barrett. And then during the segment with R-Truth and Wade Barrett, Miz comes out, and then Sheamus runs in to make him save. Now I'm thinking tag match. You know, you know, it would have been really, really, really predictable, you know. You know, it would have been R-Truth, Sheamus versus Miz and Wade Barrett. But, you know, for Teddy Long to come out, which I have no idea why Teddy Long would have the authority to do it, but anyway, he makes it an over-the-top rope challenge, which is really, really smart. Really, really smart in my opinion. You know, mix it up a little bit. You know, change the predictability. You know, we're all expecting tag match, and then we get over-the-top rope challenge, which kind of makes sense if you think about it. You know, this is the kind of way to hype up the Royal Rumble match, which is coming in a couple of weeks. But R-Truth ends up getting the win. He first, Wade Barrett's the first one to go. He gets eliminated by everybody else, and then Sheamus and Miz were locked up on the other side of the ring. R-Truth comes in and eliminates both of them at the same time, and then ends up getting the win. Then we go to a segment involving John Cena and John Laurnitis. Cena's pissed off that Laurnitis let this happen. You know, that that Ryder wasn't medically cleared to compete, and you know, he's really mad, and Laurnitis makes it up to him by giving him a match of sorts with Jack Swagger. Now, Jack Swagger and the confrontation with Jack Swagger and John Cena, the match really never took place, and Cena came out and he was all riled up. He was pissed off and came in and just, you know, beat the living snot out of Jack Swagger. And then right when Cena was about to finish off Jack Swagger with the steel steps, Kane's pyro hits and his music hits, and he's up on the Titantron, and, you know, he's all happy that Cena's starting to embrace the hate. And, you know, apparently it's going to culminate at the Royal Rumble with their match. Brodus, they're doing more with Brodus Clay. They're doing more with Brodus Clay. Now, they're really starting to put on the persona that he's the Funkasaurus. Let me elaborate a little bit. He started to incorporate something like this into his little dance routines, you know, to try to play the part of the Funkasaurus. And I think that's actually a pretty good move here. And if you guys didn't notice, they had a new dancer out there. They had a new dancer out there along with the old one. I guess they might have had an issue with one of the dancers from last week, and so they replaced her with another new dancer. But yeah, they start to really incorporate the fact, you know, that he's the Funkasaurus. And in fact, they introed him as the only living Funkasaurus in captivity as Brodus Clay. And you know, he's really starting to get entertaining, to be honest with you guys. I'm really starting to like this persona of Brodus Clay. You know, he's coming out there and he's doing, you know, a really good job of entertaining the crowd. You know, he's doing the dance moves, he's playing up to the crowd, and I've never seen so much jelly jiggle on one person's body since Rikishi, to be honest with you. But, you know, Brodus Clay is entertaining to watch now. You know, he's gone from an extremely violent persona to an extremely entertaining persona in the form of the Funkasaurus. And to be honest with you guys, I know there are a lot of haters out there who don't like this gimmick of Brodus Clay, but I do. To be honest with you, it's like I said, it's extremely entertaining. You know, it's always fun to watch. You know, when a wrestler is fun to watch, then 9 times out of 10, he's the guy that's going to be staying on TV. You know, if he's entertaining, you know, whether he be a heel or a face, but you know, he's going to stay on TV. You know, so I think maybe, you know, if you had to pick between the extremely violent persona Brodus Clay and the entertaining Funkasaurus persona Brodus Clay, I would go with the Funkasaurus because he's really entertaining and you know, he's just real fun to watch. To be honest with you, really fun to watch. And in this match, he took on JTG. Sorry. And you think anybody who would appreciate dance moves and a gimmick, you think JTG would, because, you know, when you come out with Crime Time, you know, he was always dancing. You know, he was always dancing in his intro. And the way they had him portrayed in this match, that he wasn't really impressed with what Brodus Clay had to offer, but Brodus Clay pretty much made short work of it. I think Michael Cole made reference to the fact that Brodus Clay's finishing move, that crossbody, he's a 375-pounder doing a crossbody. Think about that, guys. And he made mention, I think they named his signature move, that crossbody, I'm Funky, or That's Funky, or something like that. I have to go back and check. But it's something along that lines. I hope they come up with a better name than that, to be honest with you. Then we had the main event match. You know, everyone, you know, was all talked about. And as you guys heard him on my Chris Jericho report, what Jericho did in the match, whatnot, he pretty much walked out, and it left CM Punk and Daniel Bryan alone. Before the match took place, however, Daniel Bryan did give the update on AJ of Swords, and you can really tell that he's starting to come off as a heel, because of the crowd's reaction to him. They were booing the hell out of him. So that kind of leads me to believe that they've turned him heel, and that's the route he's going to go. But Michael Cole still hasn't really switched over to the fact and started warming up to Daniel Bryan as of yet. So apparently they're going to keep the persona of Michael Cole hating Daniel Bryan. But anyway, Ziggler, so it was CM Punk, basically, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan taking on Dolph Ziggler and Mark Henry and David Otunga. I think, if I can remember correctly, what happened after Jericho left and this thing started to break down. Daniel Bryan decked Mark Henry. Mark Henry just stood there and said, "Is that all you got?" And they ran each other out. So basically it was Ziggler and Otunga taking on CM Punk alone. Mick Foley runs out, says he's got permission from John Laurnitis to be in the match, and tags in and pretty much gets the victory using Mr. Socko. After the match was over, Laurnitis comes out and says, "No, you did not have my permission to be in this match, and so I have to reverse the referee's decision, and the winner is Dolph Ziggler, Mark Henry, and David Otunga via disqualification." And then CM Punk probably cuts the promo of promos. And see, this is what they been needing CM Punk to do. They needed to give him the microphone and let him run with it. And you get gold out of it. You get gold out of it, and that's what you got. You got gold at the opening with that promo with CM Punk, Mick Foley, and Dolph Ziggler, and you got promo at the end of the show with him, Mick Foley, and John Laurnitis. That's what WWE needs to keep doing now. They need to give him the microphone and let him run with it, because he cut an extremely good promo for the Royal Rumble. And then, of course, as soon as CM Punk left, the Laurnitis gets on the microphone, then starts to finally show some emotion by getting angry over everything. And then Mick Foley gets in his face and asks him, "We all want to know if you're going to screw CM Punk." And you said, "Hell yeah, I'm going to screw him over." And again, that's the one thing we needed to see from Laurnitis to see if he can actually express emotion. And he actually did that. And I think for his first time actually expressing, some anger emotions, he did okay with it. But I want to allude to a few things that CM Punk said, because, like I said, when you give him the microphone and let him run with it, it's gold. It's gold. And he made references to the fact that John Laurnitis was Animal's brother, and the fact that well, let's just say this: if you missed the promo that CM Punk cut on John Laurnitis, just pray to God that WWE uploaded it on their YouTube channel or somewhere on their website for you to check it out, because by far, they finally needed to give CM Punk the microphone and let him run with it, and that's exactly what they did on Monday Night Raw. And I hate to keep repeating myself. Stop hitting my table. When you give CM Punk the microphone and let him run with it, you get gold every time. But what was interesting is after John Laurnitis was done emoting, expressing his anger over everything with CM Punk and the fact that, he was tired of not being appreciated for all the shows that he set up, he takes the microphone and hits Mick Foley with it, and that's pretty much how the show ends. So I'm thinking that we might be seeing a start, maybe a Laurnitis Mick Foley feud. Who knows? Really hard to say where they're going to go with this. I get the inkling that we're going to see Mick Foley on next week's Raw, just based on what happened this week. So, match of the night. Ooh, really hard to say. I really want to go with the main event, because it was kind of unexpected. You know, we didn't know what Jericho was going to do. Didn't expect to see Mick Foley come out and wrestle, and of course, I believe the segment after the match was over, which really solidified it as one of the most entertaining spots in the show. So I got to give it to the main event. You know, it was Dolph Ziggler, Mark Henry, and David Otunga, originally scheduled to be CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Chris Jericho, which turned into Jericho leaving and into Mick Foley in combination with the segment that took place after the match was over. So that's my thoughts on match of the night. I got to go with a very close second. The over-the-top rope challenge with R-Truth, Miz, Sheamus, and Wade Barrett as a close second. So what I want to know now from you guys is, what did you think of Raw Super Show this week? You know, what was your match of the night? You know, what did you think of the show? Leave your comments in the comment section below or in a video response. Again, what I want to know from you guys is, what did you think of Monday Night Raw, and what was your match of the night? Again, I'd love to hear back from you guys, so be sure you leave a comment in the comment section or in a video response. And if you liked everything I had to say in this video, be sure to hit that like button, and of course subscribe. Every subscriber is appreciated here on the WGS-TV YouTube channel. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Bujo saying thank you very much for watching.